Visual scripting, a fun and easy way to learn how to code when first starting off your game dev journey, whether it's working as a team or working solo to make your very first game. But why do most game devs tend to frown upon it? Is it because it is too limited? Or maybe because it's done with pre-made coding? Or it doesn't help you expanding your muscle memories and problem solving? I understand. Learning how to code is a fun challenge and can help you improve your knowledge and become better with the programming language of your choice. But what about game developers that don't know how to write a single line of coding, but they can visualize it and put it together like any Lego structure and get the result that they're after? Don't worry, I've been on that path as well. Going through game engines after game engines, trying to learn how to code, going through tutorials to look at certain mechanics and also yet events to make sure they work properly. And it does become a daunting task when I first started this journey a while back, and I had the same questions as a newcomer to this game development journey. If I can't do a line of coding, there has to be another method to code. That's when visual scripting is a great way to start your first game development journey, or in some occasions a returning veteran in game development. It is an easy and simple way to pick up and learn, but also improve your knowledge as well, without having to write a single line of coding. With a simple mouse click to add a command or to drag and drop, you'll be able to make anything from moving characters, adding a health bar system, or gathering data like scores or what levels are unlocked. Looking at today's society, we got a vast variety of game engines out there that newcomers and veterans can choose from, that are fully reliable in visual scripting like these game engines here. And the first one on our list, learning the basics and starting from scratch. Made in 2007 and used for one of the courses from Harvard University, the CS50 courses, being one of the best engines to understand the fundamentals of coding, with its block coding. With the simple category and coloring to help newcomers how each blocks of coding work, it's a great way to start to make smaller games or prototypes to get that firm grasp of coding, but not recommended to work on bigger scale projects. However, if you're looking to making bigger scale games, then I recommend looking at the most fast and flexible Construct 3. Now I'm not gonna lie, I love this game engine of how easy it is with the column-based coding and easy to understand user interface, and I've used it most recently of how fast and flexible it can be when you are looking for a certain command and actions to put together to make a character move or jump. But for newcomers and young game developers, it is a great tool to use whether you want to make very small game projects or prototypes to get a good understanding of how to code, to big scale projects that you want to sell commercially to all gamers. Speaking of money wise, it does require some money to buy a monthly subscription for the full license of Construct 3. Though yes, there are a free version of Construct 3, it is very limited, but it is there to test the engine out before buying the full version of it. However, if you don't have money to actually buy a subscription, then looking at number 3 on our list, the most reliable and flexible and also yet free to use is none other than GDevelop. With it being free to use and have some similarity with Construct 3 with the column-based coding and my fair share experience with the engine, it is a more friendly and easy to use for newcomers. And with well-supported community as well, there's bound to be more tutorials and add-ons for GDevelop. But the best thing about Construct 3 and GDevelop, they're both web engines, so you can be on any computer or any other devices at any time to make your project on the fly or to share your project with other gamers or game developers. Then there's the engine that can help you convert from visual scripting to coding, and that's number 4 on our list is none other than GameMaker Engine. GameMaker is the tool that are one of the godfathers of visual scripting with its feature of the drag and drop GML visual scripting, with easy to understand block and also coloring to give newcomers an understanding of conditions, actions, and also yet variables and many more. Though yes, it does become a bit of a challenging factor with different events to look over. But with a good game maker community and tutorials, you'll be able to make smaller projects and bigger projects in no time. But the best part of GameMaker Engine, if you feel confident and ready to learn how to code, GameMaker allows you to convert GML visual to GML coding to give you an understanding of how it translates from visual to coding. But you can also change it from your settings as well when you feel ready to take that first step of writing out your very first line of coding. Now there are also other game engines out there that are code focused but does have visual scripting plugins to help newcomers. Unity being a very good example. They are focused on C# programming, but it does have plugins that are visual scripting, with Bolt being one of them and also yet free to use plugin, allowing game developers to use visual scripting in a node format. However, if you do have money and ready to spend a little bit more, then PlayMaker Studio is a good example of a paid plugin that gives an interesting experience of visual scripting in a column-based format as well. With games being programmed with PlayMaker Studios, for example, The Spirits of the North, Cuphead, and also yet Hollow Knight. But if you're looking for a challenging factor, have a look at Unreal Engine and their Blueprint visual scripting. It is an interesting engine to use, but it is also very powerful and also yet very challenging to get around with their actors, graphics and lighting. But with a very good community base and also yet tutorials out there that are focused on blueprints, it is a welcoming challenge for any game developers that want to make their own 3D games. Then there's also the free game engine Godot. Though Godot did have visual scripting back in the early version of 3, it is long gone in version 4. But thanks to the community of Godot, they have made an add-on called block coding, allowing game developers to transition from scratch to Godot with ease, with the knowledge of block coding from previous experience. When it comes down to your first step of your journey, don't be afraid to look at other options if you struggle to write a single line of coding. If you have the basic concepts of coding, don't be afraid to look at visual scripting to give you a bit of a leg up and a good stepping stone to make your first project and into the world of game development.